All my fortune is in the funds, 700,000 or 800,000 francs. Then sell out, Marquis, or you will lose it all. But how can I sell out here? You have a broker, have you not? Yes. Then give me a letter to him, and tell him to sell out without an instant's delay. Perhaps even now I shall arrive too late. The deuce you say, replied the Marquis. Let us lose no time, then. And sitting down, he wrote a letter to his broker, ordering him to sell out at the marketplace. Now then, said Villefort, placing the letter in his pocketbook, I must have another. To whom? To the king. To the king? Yes. I dare not write to his majesty. I do not ask you to write to his majesty, but I ask Monsieur de Salvoux to do so. I want a letter that will enable me to reach the king's presence without all the formalities of demanding an audience. That would occasion a loss of precious time. But address yourself to the keeper of the seals. He has a right of entry at the Tuileries, and can procure you audience at any hour of the day or night. All right, now let's talk a little bit about Dumas here. He is setting up an interesting parallel or echo, I guess. Mirror image? Can you guess what it is? Did you catch it? Remember when Dante went to the Isle of Elba and was given the ring by Captain Leclerc so that he could gain entrance to a conversation with Marshal Bertrand and forego all the formalities of, all those, all the red tape, the bureaucracy, keeping him from speaking to the important people. Villefort here is also asking for a similar thing. So, he's asking the Marquis, could you get me what I need so that I can get presence with the king himself in order to expedite this conversation, expedite these issues. And, I think also let's not overlook the fact of how much trust the Marquis apparently has in Villefort, barely asking any questions here. He's just saying, you got to sell all your money, sell all your funds. And the Marquis is like, oh yeah, right. You're, of course, whatever you say, we got to do it. What is Villefort up to here? We don't really know. So, okay, let's just take a step back. Let's breathe. Okay, and just acknowledge and analyze the details we have on our plate so far. Villefort's Daddy Villefort, is a Bonapartist agent, or at least sympathizer. I guess that's to be determined. His name is Nuarte. Dante had a letter from the Isle of Elba at the request of Captain Leclerc to deliver it to Paris, to Nuarte, which happens to be Villefort's dad. But do we know what was in that letter? Not specifically. So what is Villefort going to Paris for? Ooh, could he be going to kill his own father? That would be interesting. We already have the kind of foreshadowing of parricide that was talked about in the first chapter on Villefort's wedding. Okay, there's a lot suddenly to try to keep up with here, and I'm curious what's going to transpire. I do want to take a second, just setting what we're talking about here aside for one moment, and I just want to give you some real world stuff. Not the countdown, what we're trying to distract ourselves from, but Dumas stuff. I cannot figure out why Dumas has disappeared kind of from our collective consciousness. And I don't even, that might even be too strong of a way of describing it, but I've gone to used bookstores so many times now because going so slowly through this story has made me want to blaze through one of his other books. And I'm like, you know what? I want to pick up The Man in the Iron Mask. I can't find a copy anywhere. Why? That seems so strange to me. I've gone to used bookstore, every single used bookstore there is in Madison, Wisconsin, and I can't, okay, listen, I found one copy, but it was abridged, and it was based on the movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio. I want a modern library reading version of Dumas' The Man in the Iron Mask, or, even a Penguin's Classics. Granted, yeah, I know I could order them from Amazon, but listen, this world's fucked up enough as it is. I don't want to support them any more than I have to. I that's not the point. I'm getting way far afield from the point, which the point is I can't find official biographies on Dumas. His books are harder and harder to find at used bookstores. I can't figure out why this is. Now, there was a popular French production of The Count of Monte Cristo that came out in theaters in 2024, but apparently that hasn't quite, drummed up the interest in Dumas again. So, what I'm going to have to do, I think, is find as many of these copies of these books as I can that all have different intros and prefaces and, biographical chapters on Dumas before the book in order to assemble some semblance of an official biography here. Because we could just look at the internet and, I've been doing that to fill some gaps, but where's the scholarly bio on him? Where's it's out of print, by the way. I did some research. My partner is a librarian, and she said that the closest copy to me is up in Canada. So anyway, I just find this weird that, we live in 2025, and yet it's difficult to find one of the most classics of literature and any information on the author. If you have any information on that, please let me know. Otherwise, let's all go to the used bookstores and buy up Alexander Dumas books. Wait, no, don't do that, because then I won't see them anymore. Go to the real store and buy them so that the demand goes up and printers and publishers will be like, oh, yeah, okay, great. We need to start putting out more Dumas renditions. Oh my God, what have I done? I've tangented here. Let's end this episode and get going tomorrow. I swear to God, I'll be back on track. I promise. Okay, until then, I will see you. Goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.